Hello, hello, hello. We are getting ready to stream live into Facebook. Oh, why is it acting up? Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I got kicked out of every single thing, every platform, which was weird for us. Hold on, let me see. Facebook poetry. Okay, do this one. Just asking me a few questions here. We'll edit this part off. Technology says check your notifications on your other device. All right, send it so we can see it. Oh, I'm seeing it. Try another way. I'm gonna do another way. I'll text myself a code. There we go. 78. That's one. I think we might be here. Trust this device. Continue. It's preparing. Okay, and we are live. Hello, hello, everyone. Bringing you greetings both from Cincinnati, Ohio, and India, of all places. Look how we are. We are just
Yeah,
international now, even with the youth open mic. So we are pleased, so pleased, so pleased to have Sachvir Singh. I have the last name is
yeah,
Singh.
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yes. And I'm just going to read your bio and then we'll have a chance to speak with you and hear your first opening piece. But I'm just so glad that you're able to join us. So, Sachvir Singh is a class 10 student studying in St. John's High School, Chandriga, India. He wrote his first book already, Knock Knock, in class 7. He has recently authored another book titled Words and Canvas. He is an avid painter, writer, poet, and archer. His paintings and articles have been published in several international magazines. His books have been placed in the children's section of the Parliament Library in India. Wow, major, major accomplishments. We'll just
Yes.
hand the pass the
Yes,
Congratulations.
yes,
Okay, yeah, let's give him a hand. Oh,
Great.
yes.
how old
We
are
gotta
you?
Yeah,
At
dap that
16?
up.
I'm
Yes.
16.
16. And
Congratulations.
many
Thanks so much.
accomplishments.
Extraordinary young man.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So we just passed the virtual mic over to you and just ask for you to just take us into your world and share whatever you would like to share with us.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. So, I thought I'd start with one of my poems, which took me a lot of time to write because it was a very heavy poem, and I would like to start with that. It's on a very dangerous figure, I would say, Adolf Hitler.
Mm,
So,
Mm.
it was difficult to pen that down after reading all about him and his life. So, what I wrote was he came to the capital as a painter, but in the end, he became a dictator. Also, a soldier and a spy, he seemed to be a harmless guy. He also won the Iron Cross, but he was not happy with Germany's loss. He was featured by the Time magazine, but his true colors were yet to be seen. He worked for his fatherland, but why were the other races banned? The swastika and the Nazi party are still seen as dirty. In the end, he committed suicide, and his wife died by taking cyanide.
Mm. I
Uh,
did not know he committed suicide. That is interesting.
Yeah.
yes. I
Yes.
had not heard that either, or maybe
No, you
I
didn't
forgot.
taught me something.
Yes.
Yes. Did it say why, or did he leave
Uh,
letters as far as you know?
I'm sorry, I did not get the question.
Do you know if he like left a suicide note or was there any
Uh,
indication why?
I'm not sure if he left a suicide note, but he went to his bunker and he had committed suicide because the Allied forces were closing in.
Right.
And
So,
then what you say? What happened to his wife?
She died by taking cyanide. She poisoned herself.
So she committed suicide too. So both of them committed suicide.
Yeah, and he also
yes.
killed his favorite dog along with him.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I
Huh.
did not know that.
Wow, yes. That is so I'm sorry, Norm. We just jumped right in there before you because that was just a
No,
lot of
no, that was
I go right
no, that
ahead.
was something I knew that he had committed suicide. I didn't know his wife did.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
Eva
mm.
Braun along with him. They both went to the bunker.
Yes, right.
Ah,
That was a great piece.
That
it
it
was.
was. It's always amazing when you can give a piece, but also like enlightenment. Because I think each of us kind of did not know different elements of that story. Like I didn't know that he committed suicide or his wife in the dog, and then
Hmm.
Norman didn't know that the wife committed suicide. So you kind of taught us something
Yes.
as you read your poem.
Yes. Can you take me back to the opening line? Did you say he came to the Capitol as a what? Did you say
As
painter?
a painter, as a failed painter
Mm.
actually.
As a what?
As a failed painter, he had sent an application to an art school in Austria, but he
Mhm.
was not accepted by them.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
he was creative and artistic.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking when I heard that too, Tiffany. Yes. There is a documentary, and I wish I could run into it. It was a three-part documentary on Netflix that was all about Hitler's life and his rise to power and
Hmm.
how he really used politics and, to wiggle his way in and be able to do everything that he did to kill and to destroy everyone. And it says a lot. And then the whole thing about the swastikas got me because I know Norm has something to say about this, but we just recently, has it been my like 3 weeks ago, maybe? Or Norm? Was that 3 weeks
Um,
ago?
it's been at least, yeah, about a month.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
What
Yeah.
about a
what we
month.
had in the middle of our city, Lincoln Heights, which is a highly predominantly African American um, location, some Nazis came out with swastikas on the bridge and started putting up all their propaganda and banter and swastikas and all of that. And they it's so many videos going, of them just the hatred and just everything and the community themselves, the people, like everyday people, like imagine that going on down the street from where we are right now, and then we just take off out the door and go to where the problem is. But the community is the one that took it down, burnt the flags and everything, and our police kind of, yeah. I won't weigh in 100%. But it does not look good. It looks like they were helped to escape and to get away, and they were escorted out and not arrested or not, anything. And you're talking about, at least from my work in the legal field, that's inducing panic. Not only the hatred itself, even if they say, well, it's freedom of speech, I can do a swastika, the fact that they were over a bypass and an expressway that could have caused a wreck, that could have caused people to panic and not know what's going on. Like there was a lot of things, and they were transport, they had guns. So they had, rifles like AKs and everything with them. And they were transported in the back of a U-Haul. So there was no seating, there's no seat belts. Like anybody else can be traffic stopped and there's a million things that you get charged with. But the fact that they just were able to just ride on off and not and nothing happened to them has been a lot. And then there's been just one thing after the other, people throwing out literature and getting caught because they have a neighborhood watch now, trying to watch their neighborhood. And it's sad, and even when I drive with my mother, this secondary trauma, this community violence that happens, because now you're always on guard trying to figure out, okay, am I going to be there in the midst of something? And how am I going to react if I'm put in that situation? How am I going to react if my son is with me? How am I going to react if my mom is with me? So, yeah, that piece was a very, very strong piece. It brought home a lot in the things I would have never thought in this day and age that we would be battling that type of racism. And it's caused such a betrayal for me. Like it's even hard. I'm getting emotional, but it's hard for me to talk about because I literally feel betrayed. I feel like there was, not to say the racism ended, but there was some level of progression, and all of a sudden we're thrown back into this level of things that we're not used to. I mean, they've been protesting at the colleges here, they've been doing things, and it's taken us way, way back from where we're supposed to be. So
Yeah, I
thank you.
totally
Thank you.
agree.
Yes, and
I
Doctor, do you
totally
have comment? And let me introduce you, but I do want to hear you speak as well. Say your first, is Kanwal?
Kanwal.
Kanwal. Yeah, so Dr. Kanwal teaches political science in a college in India. Writing is a passion for her. Her poems have been accepted in Mocking Owl Roof's Syncopation, Open Skies, Doublespeak, Phoenix, and various other magazines. Her poems on acid attack victims was read on Uric Radio, Scotland. She has presented research papers in George Mason's University, Virginia, USA, among others. She has been awarded by various academies and by a few government agencies for her writings. And she is the mother of Sachvir. So we see the connection, we see the gift. But yes, go right ahead, doctor. What is your take? Did you have any feedback for him or?
Yeah, in during Corona, during the pandemic, he was busy scribbling in a diary, and as long as he was away from the screen, I was happy. And then he came to me. I said, "What have you been scribbling?" So he showed me his notings, a new English word which he learned, or, the name of cars. What does, a different name, what does endeavor mean for a boy of sixth class, fortune, all these cards. So I said, "Oh, why don't we get a book published?" So we got his book published, and then my friends fought with me. They said, "You're doing everything for your child. You have to do something for our children." So I gave them about 6 months. I said, "Let's write letters to historic people." So I gave them one topic each, and because in India the we had to stay indoors for 21 days initially. So I said, okay, we'll write 21 letters. So that book was quite a hit. And the kind of research these young people did, we had a girl from Canada, the children had their own friends, so all over India. So that book was, letters to historic uh, characters. So he took Hitler, and he knew more about Hitler than me also. So in same thing was with the other students. So amazing letters which students wrote, somebody they were different, but the only condition was that I didn't want to get into any kind of controversy, writing to any, person who was alive. So this famous basketball player in the US, he died in an aeroplane crash with his he was African American. I know, I'm getting confused now. It's been a while. So somebody wrote a letter to him. So, and then, but there was this brother sister duo who this boy was very young. He says, I also want to be a part of it. So he wrote letter to Ruskin Bond, who's a very Anglo-Indian author in India. So he was the only, he still lives. He writes interesting shorts, very interesting short stories. So I said, okay, to justify 20, and then we had a extension of the curfew for another 21 days. So 21. So I said, let us make it 21 plus 1, so 22 letters, one for the extension. So all the children learned quite a bit, So I think and then I think that provoked him, motivated him to write about Hitler when he had to.
Wow. Do you have any of those letters with you to read today? Or well, the Hitler one you have. Do you have any more of the 22 letters that you wrote?
Yeah, if you can give me a second, I'll just get
Oh,
the book.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
You can continue with Sachvir. I'll just get the
Yes.
book.
Sachvir, would you like to read something else for us? We are eager to hear your work.
Yes.
I'm glad. So, I recently published the book Words and Canvas, which you recently read about in my bio.
Okay.
So, in the book, I made paintings and wrote poems based on the paintings. So,
Oh,
I
Mm.
would just like to show the painting which I'm about to read the poem on. So, it's this
Yes.
one that I made.
wow.
So, thank you. So, this was one of my favorites.
Awesome.
So, thank you. So the poem I wrote was on a lighthouse because of the painting. So the poem is: The lighthouse is a guide helping lost souls back to shore. Guiding and keeping people safe is its job. In our life, we need a lighthouse. Someone to help us when we are lost, someone to keep us safe, someone we can always trust. So it was a very short poem, but
Yeah.
it was on one of my favorite paintings that I made. So it was really special for me.
I like that piece because, like you said, it's short, but it's short and powerful. And that's what I enjoy. That was nice. I like that.
Yes.
Thank you.
I love those short form poems because it makes you focus in on the words. It's almost like a haiku, but a little bit better because it gives you a little bit more meat. But I love that because even the whole thing about, in your life, we need a lighthouse.
Yes.
That's, that's a strong, strong message. Definitely. Yes.
This is the book, Unlocking Minds.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah. So this is the cover of the book.
okay.
Yeah. So somebody wrote to Rosa Parks, We took
Mm-hmm.
characters all over the world. So somebody wrote to Neil Armstrong, to Rosa Parks,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, then there is somebody wrote to Vincent van Gogh, So they
Yeah.
did a lot of research this was, the Kobe Bryant. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
bad with the sports names. I think he died in the African
Kobe Bryant.
American with his daughter. He died in the aeroplane crash.
Yes. Was
Abraham
it Kobe?
Lincoln.
Was it
Yes, Kobe
Kobe?
Bryant.
Yes, Kobe Bryant. Yes.
Kobe Bryant, Abraham. So somebody wrote to Abraham Lincoln, to Karl
Mhm.
Marx, So I just edited the book, but believe me, I learned a lot. So I believe in working with children. I believe in, even in my college, I work with children and they come up with amazing concepts.
Yes. Well, I love your writing prompt because I was involved with a writing project during the pandemic, but it was called Postcards from the Pandemic. And it was all about our experience in a way to kind of release some of the trauma that we were experiencing. But you were really strategic in, by having the letter writing and allowing them to pick people they wanted to write to. Then that led to research. And it really, it helped get your mind off of the current situation, really. So I love that. I definitely do. Yes, yes. Awesome. I'm just looking up for those poems of what, but yes, go right ahead, Sachvir. Do you have another one for us?
Oh yes, I do. And again, it's a painting that I made. So this was the painting. Uh,
You're a really good painter.
You're an
Are
excellent
your
painter.
paintings somewhere? Are they on display anywhere at this time or?
One of my paintings has been selected in an international magazine. It was small. I'm not sure if you have seen the movie or read the books. It's
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, actually. Smog. So it was a painting of Smog, the character.
Wow.
That has been selected
Yes.
in an international magazine, and that I was really glad. So
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yes.
thank you. And so the poem that I wrote on this was see as far as the eye can see. The different colors merge together to form a treat for the eyes. The clouds and the sky just above are a blessing from hot weather and humidity. The beach, I believe, is the part of summer. Tropical weather is really fun.
Mm, yes.
So this was one of the light poems that I wrote because I had been writing about Adolf Hitler, about having a lighthouse. So I wanted something light on the mind to ease my mind. So this was one of the poems I wrote during that time.
I
Yes.
like the concept. Yes.
How did you get into the painting as well? Like, did you always know that was your, like, which one's first, the poetry or the painting?
Oh no, I was terrible at painting when I was younger. So my paintings used to be the worst. My sketches used to be the worst ones around. So during the lockdown, I just sat down one day because I was feeling a little bored. So I started painting one day, and I made sketches of characters such as Einstein,
Okay.
then Napoleon Bonaparte,
Okay.
Adolf Hitler, Charlie Chaplin. So from there, I started realizing that I can sketch if I want to. So after that, I started getting into painting.
Yes, well, you have inspired me because I've been looking for this other side of me. And Mom, don't say anything because I know she's ready to be like, if you do anything else, that's cool
You
with you.
Can I tell us? I
You were
can I
waiting,
tell us?
weren't you?
Can I tell a small secret of the family? Actually, his his father is a lawyer, and we get a lot of projects from the school. So I'm horrible at painting. So his father is good. So I would tell him that go and get the painting, on the chart from your father. So the father used to say, I'm busy, I don't have the time. So he would come howling, and I would try to fill it up with lot of written word, and we managed to sail through our projects. And during pandemic, he was writing and sketching, and he came to me with his sketch and says, are they any good? I said, my God, they're very
Yes.
good. Why? He says, because dad used to shout at me and I am not going to him for my painting, and I started sketching myself. So I said, this is very nice. You
Oh.
used the negativity for positivity. So I said, okay, fine.
Yes. No, my mom, I know
Well,
she probably just wanted to be like, you don't
so,
have, go ahead.
something had to have been there all along, though. Now we're talking about more poetry.
I just
That's
gave
all.
her the creative expression at this one school to her. So she does all the art projects and everything because she does not have faith that I can do it.
But you know what? It would have been nice to have seen his picture while he was talking.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, the whole time he's doing his poem to
Mhm.
show that picture, so that that picture can come alive. Because
Yeah, I
especially
agree.
like the lighthouse, he it was so quick. You know,
Mhm.
I couldn't really see the detail of his
Yes.
picture.
Ah,
Yeah, can
that
he
is a
show the
good.
picture again?
Look at that. I mean, the stars and everything.
Yeah,
I
it
can't
was
see
so quick.
anything.
You
So
can't see
to have
anything?
seen that while he was,
Mm-mm.
but yeah, it
I see
happened so
you.
fast.
Wait a minute. I have him pinned, I thought. Let me.
Mm-mm. I just see you.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Is he gone?
No, he's right there. I have him pinned. Anybody else? Can everyone see the picture?
No, I just see you.
I don't want to be pinned. Hold on. Let me make sure. I'm gonna try to remove the pin and then put it back on him. Now, you see him?
Mm-mm. See you.
You know,
No.
I'm gonna turn my whole camera off and see what. Still just me?
Yep.
Yep.
That
Yep.
is weird. That must be something going on with my thing. Maybe because
I
I
can
am.
I can see everyone. I can see everyone.
You can see everyone.
Okay, I can see her now. Okay.
Okay.
But I
Yes.
can't see her son.
Hmm. And if you want to, are you on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
If you want to text me or email me pictures of anything, if mom has pictures nearby, that's fine as well. But yeah, you should be able to see them. I think you all need to scroll over to change your view to a
Oh,
gallery view so you can
I
see.
see everyone now.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, yeah, I can see him now. Okay.
That was me. I'm the one that needed to change my view. This is what happens when you're sleep deprived. But okay, just one more time. Because we're enjoying this picture. We have not had art. Look at that.
That's what I'm saying. So if he was to, do his poem while we're seeing that, it would just bring that to life for me.
Yes, yes, we
That's a
definitely
whole.
will plan. I read your bio ahead of time and I didn't know that you paint, but a lot of times when people say, "Oh yeah, I paint too," and I'm a poet, it's not like that. So we were not prepared. But yes, beautiful, beautiful artwork. We absolutely love it. But yes. And what else do you have to share with us? And as you share too, feel free to talk about like some of your inspiration for why you wrote that particular piece, if you remember.
Mhm.
Um, I do remember why I got into writing.
Yes.
Uh, when my mother was writing her first book, which was a biography on a family friend, but she had a really great life. Her name was Ashima Zaranges Victoria Samandri Rekhi. So I remember that because of the book. And while she was writing, I had told her that I will never write a book because of the hassle you have to go through. And um, I remember that she was on the phone with the editors, telling them that the book needs to be published by this date or the release is that date. So I told her I'll never write a book. And then she wrote her second book and third book. And after a while, I realized that I also want to write a book. And then she saw my diary, because of which she urged me to write the book. So I do remember that my inspiration does go to my mother.
Yes, absolutely. That is beautiful, beautiful story. I love that she inspired you in that way. Yes, and your works have really gone far. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other poetry that you'd like to share with us? And then we'd like to hear from your mom too, Doctor. If you want to follow him in the next piece, we'd love to hear a piece from you as well.
Yeah.
So um, I do have one more piece that I would like to share.
Okay.
Um, it's again a painting, and this one was on a sparrow.
Oh,
Oh,
So this
yeah.
was one of my initial pieces that I sketched. I think I was in seventh when I sketched this.
wow.
So one of my initial ones, thank you. And so I wrote on the sparrow because I do remember when I was a little kid in around fourth or fifth grade, I used to see sparrows every single day. And gradually I've seen them disappear and only be in places in the hills or the mountains. So I was seriously concerned about that. So because of that, I wrote, um, a bird that is disappearing. Sparrows are no longer. The chirping is heard no more, not like before. When the sparrows were abundant and roamed independent in cities all over, save them before they are gone forever.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes. I like that. Young man, I like to say this to you. You are very, very talented. You are. You're very talented.
thank
And
you.
keep up the work that you're doing. I'm not going to say good work. I'm going to say great work because you're doing great work.
I'm
Yes, you are.
glad. Thank you.
You're
Yes.
most welcome. Yes.
And Tiffany, would you like to say something too before Doctor does her piece? I know you were, and you are, oh, there you are. Go ahead. Well, no, now we can't hear you. Can you hear me? Try
Can
it
you hear
again.
me now?
Yes, much better. Yes.
Okay, let me okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, that's perfect.
I'm trying to put it on speaker. Just give me a second. Okay. I want to say yes, you very extremely talented, gifted. I like the variations of poetry that you read from serious to like the common to seeing your paintings. And yeah, I think that you have a very deep perspective. And I'm looking forward to seeing, or hearing more of your work and seeing more of your work as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. Yes, Doctor, take it away. We'd love to hear from you.
From me?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
I was just following the conversations and I was thinking in my mind when Norman spoke and I said, it's blessings from America.
Oh.
Right. And of course, I am, my whole family has been in the defense forces, guarding the borders of India in
Hmm.
different capacities. And when I was coming to America for my conference in 2019, my brother-in-law is an army officer. My father was an army officer, my uncles, everybody's in the army. I'm the only civilian around, I think. And when I was coming to the US, and he said, where you are going, he was looking up that where all I can, visit the places. So, of course, I had the National Mall in mind. So he said, he's a soldier. And he tells me, there's a Arlington War Memorial nearby, and you
Hmm.
must go there and pay respects to the soldiers. I said, oh, they are Americans. He said, but a soldier is a soldier. So uh, I took the blue bus all the way Potomac River, across Potomac River. I, I went for a day and it's huge. And, seeing all the graves and the American flags and so on. I went in March and I said this, wars are futile. And, we have this ongoing, tension on the Indo-Pak border, India-Pakistan. We've gone to war 3 times. And whenever, I take my walk, we have an Air Force base near Chandigarh, and there's this whole big aeroplane which is called the Chinook, which flies to Ladakh. Ladakh is like on the northern tip of India and borders with China and Pakistan. And we have the Siachen Glacier, which is to be guarded by India. Otherwise, the enemy can walk in. So there were times when I would go to receive my brother-in-law or to send him off. So, when they all come in their military uniform, and the families are waiting. Or sometimes when I would go to see him off, so all soldiers standing there, officers standing, and parents, mothers, sisters, sending them off because we have a very high rate of casualty in the northern side. Weather also, and of course the enemy also.
Hmm.
So somebody told me in Arlington, War Memorial, when they saw I'm alone. So one of the person over there was very helpful. I wanted to see the change of guard. And he said, there is a separate place for women. So, in India, we have women in the army, but they have recently joined the combat forces. Otherwise, they were in the soft positions. So I was astonished to see so many women, who have sacrificed their lives. And then used to see in India, and whenever I take a walk and the Chinook flies towards Ladakh, it's a big, huge machine. So
Mm.
that, prompted me to write this poem, these few lines. They're not as short as my son's, because I write, I am told by my friends that I can write a poetry when it's very intense, when I feel something. That is
Mhm.
why the acid attack victims, when somebody throws, a boy just throws acid on the girl because she spurned him, for some reason. So my poems are a little intense, so I'll just read my the few lines. Men and women in uniform. The story repeats across countries. Uh, Sorry, I'll read it from the beginning.
Yeah, and feel
The
free to read the whole thing. You don't have to abbreviate it at
Okay,
all.
yeah.
Okay.
The title of the lines are The Precious Cargo. As the mean machine rises, its blades whirring, its wings cutting through the air, a silent prayer escapes the lips from many who stand and stare. Parched lips, beating hearts, controlled tears from eyes that avoid looking into the other. Forced smiles, shaky hands. Does the mean machine know that it carries precious cargo? Men and women in uniform. The story repeats across countries, across continents. Uniforms that define soldiers: olive, green, blue, black. Soldiers who move on orders, leaving behind parents, spouses, siblings, children. Men and women who are soldiers lug their heavy hearts, putting up a facade of bravery, stoic and composed. Men and women who, as human beings, are allowed to carry only memories, precious as treasures from the deep. Men and women who cannot tarry, as they have sworn their loyalty to their respective countries. Men and women who, as soldiers, move as one. Men and women who shudder for any loss here or there, as each relationship is very dear. As the plane lifts, human hearts beat in the heart of the machine. Does the mean machine know it carries precious cargo? A father's companion for his twilight years, a mother's heart, the loving mentor of their children, the prankster sibling, the loving husband whose hugs would be missed. Does the mean machine know it carries human hearts? The question looms, why these wars?
That's good.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was really beautiful. I really enjoyed that. Yes.
Mm, mm,
Yeah,
mm.
that was beautiful.
Yes. Oh,
I
I could
I
definitely
get
see where your
very,
son gets his talent from.
yeah.
Yes.
definitely.
I didn't get that. Sorry.
Oh,
No, I was saying I could see where your son gets his talent from.
yes, yes. Yeah.
I get a little emotional reading this poem, and the women part came into this only when saw the graves or in the Arlington Memorial. That it's not only men, it's women also who are casualties. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm,
so
mm, mm, mm.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, and just so many good lines. Like we teach a lot of times immersive storytelling, where you can really just use all your senses to to bring the person into what you're reading to them or what they're hearing. And, so many good lines. You were talking about the wings cutting through the air, almost being able to hear that. Like if you've ever been on a plane or even just been on the ground and seen a plane go across the sky, you know what that means. Like, and never really thought of it in that way. But it's that cutting, that speed that's with it. And the controlled tears, something else for me that just resonates. You know, uh, Probably all of us have felt that in some kind of way where you're trying to hold back the tears, you're trying to control it. But so many wonderful. That painted a picture. The forced smiles, and then you mentioned even the colors when you brought in the olive green, the blue, and the black for the soldiers. This is a war is unfortunately is universal. We've all seen it. We've all been thrust right at the door. Things have already been said, even here, oh, World War III, like that's just something to just throw around like it's a joke or something. And that is not at all what we want to see. And then even knowing what someone else, we're 10 hours away. I don't even know how many miles. You know how many miles we are away? I know it's thousands of miles because I remember even traveling for going to Abu Dhabi and Dubai. It took me 20 hours of flight time getting there. So we're so far away, but your pain, your experience, and things that you're going through with the war
Mhm.
still hits home.
Yes.
Yes. I would say very descriptive.
Mhm.
It was very descriptive. Um and putting us at that moment, like I think we all been, you put us in that, even if we're not there, I think with your words that you and how you describe it, it put us there.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Now also, when you said, you seem like you're the only civilian in the family. I remember when my son, who's 17 now, they had a project at school and they wanted to know, all the military people that you have in your family. So, I called the oldest member that I knew. He was ex-military, just to say, hey, I know you're kind of the record keeper of the family. Let's write the names down of everyone. Once we got over 30, I was like, we have enough. I'm done. But our family is very, very heavy with that as well. And even when I worked for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers at a very young age, there was some discussions. I was thinking about going in myself. Like, they try to get you like, yeah, you can go so far in your career if you just spend this little bit of time um, enlisting and doing what you have to do. But yeah, that's a hard life. That's a very, very hard life. Yeah, yeah. And I'm to kind of tell them my age, but I remember one of the barriers for me, they wanted me to sign my kids over in order for me to be able to join. So yes. So that was kind of scary for me. I'm like, mm-mm. That made me feel like I wasn't coming back. And it took my mind back to, like you said, to Arlington Memorial and to those who have died. Yeah, right in war. Our history goes back. We had my great great grandfather was World War II, right, Mom? I have some World War II.
Yes.
Yeah, I have some World War II rations and Dwight Eisenhower stamps and things like that in here at the house. But yeah, ours go back far because we're from an interracial family, multicultural. But yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. What would you say? What would both of you say? Um, if you had a message to the US even about war itself, what would you say?
You know, uh, I think wars are futile. I was in class 10th when the Indian Army had gone into Sri Lanka, which is a small country, south of India. So, and one aunt who was living nearby, I mean, an officer's wife, we lost that officer. And
Mm.
till date, I hear her, how they didn't have any children. She was alone. and the way she started hating the army. So in India, like in every country, you have this uh, good tradition that brother officers go and look up the family, and she went to Goa, which is a coastal place. She went back to her native place. So when the brother officers would go to look her up, her husband's brother officer, she says, "I don't want to see anybody in olive uniform. I have had
Mm.
enough." So, wars are futile. India, Pakistan, we are losing so many soldiers, that side and this side too.
Hmm.
Yes.
I can only say that, let's confine ourselves in our boundaries. And it's not
Yeah.
that, I mean, the soldiers are mothers and daughters and fathers and husbands and brothers, and life is precious. That's why
Mhm.
the title is The Precious Cargo.
Yeah.
Very precious. Uh, I mean, why wars? I just don't understand. There used to be a quotation which I read somewhere that men make wars and women and children suffer. But
Yeah.
now that the
Mm.
women are in the leadership roles and they are, we have that maternal instinct very strong. Like you got scared when they told you to enlist your son, your children.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
I thought a woman at the helm would make the world a much easier, much comfortable, much peaceful world. But then we have Margaret Thatcher, who was known as the Iron Lady, of United Kingdom. So I think power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely,
Absolutely.
So
Yes. That's a good.
Wow.
Yes. I've heard
so
that quote before, and you're absolutely right. It does.
yeah, yeah. So I basically, I mean, uh, why even within the country there's so much of conflict. So
Mhm.
um, I don't know. I feel that it's, even if you said you talked about Gandhi, and India has a non-violence, as one of its foundation stones. And, even if you speak something, rudely to somebody at your workplace or anywhere, you keep pondering over it that you could have avoided it. You could have,
Hmm.
why did you do it? Why did somebody let's you unleash you, why did somebody have power over you to unleash your worst side? And that is just the spoken word, that is, you get disturbed when you're rude with your spoken word. And here people are fighting with each other. Swastika is, I'm not a Hindu, but swastika is supposed to be a very, very holy symbol among the Hindus.
Really?
It is drawn before all my friends when I go for some religious congregation at the place. So around the fire, they draw the swastika. It is supposed to be a very holy symbol. But look how
Mm.
Hitler used it and how it was.
Hmm.
So, I mean, when we are so disturbed by being rude to somebody, imagine what war does to you. So I think, I mean, there are people, I come across a lot of conferences on peace building exercises, but then it is people like us, sitting in a conference room and deliberating. We don't have any power to, put those suggestions into action. So we intellectuals, I think are confined to the boardrooms. We need to be in the White House, and we need to be in New Delhi. I need to be
Yes.
the Prime Minister of India, and you need to be the
Hmm.
President of America, that we can implement all these
You're
peace
right.
building exercises.
That is such good advice. Norm and I was talking last night, and I was telling him I interned for the House of Representatives here, well, in Kentucky, right over the bridge from where I lived, when I was in college. And political science was my minor, and English was my major. And I was telling him, like, I always wanted to run for representative because I just feel like, your senators and your representatives, you're supposed to represent the people. You're supposed to be in touch with the pulse of what everybody wants. And you're there. You're not in your own accord. You're there literally to make sure that everything is in line with the people who put you there. And that whole idea is gone now. I've seen it be corrupted. It's just, and then the whole thing, what I don't like about war, when it's a battle and you're thinking about two sides on a hillside going at it, that's one thing. But then when you hear about hospitals being bombed and, you know, all of that, that is horrible. And I remember I worked in the federal building and we would have so many bomb threats. Like and then I was dealing with military checks too. And they would tell me, like, guard these checks with your life because they were literally blank checks that I had. And not me. I would run out the building as soon as the bomb thing would come up. I would be gone. I would be gone before the all the elevators would stop. I would take the elevator down and I would run all the way across downtown to my mom's job. And
Telling the truth.
I didn't care about anything. I'm like, these checks don't matter if we're getting bombed. What do you
Right.
expect me to do unless you want me to take them out of here with me? I couldn't. I couldn't. But yeah, that's just and so even then, I even going into a federal building today, I think I would still be looking over my shoulder because of that whole thing of knowing the federal buildings around that time were being bombed and the kids were killed inside of the federal building here. So to live your life like that day to day, we will keep you in our thoughts and prayers and we need this war. We need everything to stop, to cease. And I don't like it when our country gets involved and acts like we're playing peacemaker and it's really about the resources. We don't care about making peace. We care about making moves so that we can get to the oil, the resources, whatever's on that land. That's what we want a piece of. And that's not right at all. But we have about 5 more minutes, and when it's 4 o'clock in the morning there now, I think. Who wants to close? That's
It's
just
4 o'clock
amazing.
in
And
the
thank
morning.
you for waking up to be with us. Nora, what you say?
It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Oh, thank you all so much for staying up with us.
Okay, that's a big thing. 4 o'clock in the morning on the open mic.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
with Sachvir or Doctor, which one would you like to close out? Did you have another piece?
Um, After the heavy poetry, I think let me leave you with a smile. You
Okay.
know, my right. Unless he wants to read, but I think I gave you too much serious stuff. I won't I wouldn't forgive myself for, spoiling your weekend, but I think it has given us treat. So you talked about haiku. So my haiku was published in Mocking Owl Roost. The first one is the torrential rain poured on, wiping, washing humans as well as nature. Was the irrelevant washed away?
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
the second one is the laughter was indeed spontaneous. It filled the dairy room, forlorn hearts, spreading harmony, hope, and happiness.
Yeah. I love. Can you show us the page too? I want to see how that sits on the page for us. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. I like is that artwork that Sachvir has done
No,
or
no, no. This
pictures
the
you put?
Walking Owl Roost. They did it themselves.
Oh, that's nice.
And the third happens to be my favorite.
Okay.
The trials, tribulations were overpowering. The broken soul took up the challenge and repaired and fixed itself.
That's my favorite. Yes. The broken soul took up the challenge and did what? Repaired?
And fixed itself.
Yes. Yes. Ooh. So in closing, I want to hear, let's just go around the room. We'll close on that part. What can you do to repair and to fix yourself? Is there
Poetry?
anybody? Yes. Poetry for you?
Yeah. Writing
Poetry.
poetry.
Yes. Love that answer. Sakvir, how about you?
I got two things: sketching and archery.
I'm trying to become certified as for archery too. We got to talk some more. I have all the supplies. All I got to do is get a certificate to teach. Tiffany.
I would say, repeat the question again.
What her quote was broken soul, the broken soul took up the challenge and repaired and fixed itself. So what can you do to repair and fix yourself?
I want to say one, poetry, and then two, I want to say healing. So therefore I can be able to help someone else heal, right? Our healing can be the survival guide to someone else.
Oh, come on, Tiffany. Yes.
Tiffany,
Okay.
you took the words right out of my mouth.
And
Uh,
she took mine too. Healing.
healing,
Yes.
healing,
Yes.
healing.
Yes.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
wish you all could get on a flight and come here. We have our Survivors Ball, which is in its fourth year, and it's for people who are impacted by mental, physical, or emotional challenges. And definitely, this year's theme is saving ourselves. That was our voted theme because it's so much, that's almost like taboo. We always look outside of us, and especially if you're religious
Mhm.
in any kind of way. But when you think about it, there is so much that you can do to repair and to fix yourself if you're just honest and you just allow it to happen. And I think that's what I'm
Yes.
with more transparency is for me, being
Yes.
real about what's broken. Because if you can't be real about what's broken, you can't get to the fixing
Mm.
part for
Everything.
sure. So yes, thank you both for coming. We appreciate you so much. You
Yeah.
had some in the chat. Do we have links to your books? If not,
Uh,
email
I'll email.
them to
I'll
me and I'll
email them.
post them on our
Right. And
social
can I
media.
have a recording of this to share with my students? They could not get up at this time.
Oh, definitely. Yes. I'll
Yeah.
upload it to YouTube and I'll send it to you as a link. That's the best way to
And
that we
it's
can
been
do it.
such a pleasure.
Thank
Believe
Yes.
you.
me, it's one of the best
Yes.
Sundays. It's been
Yeah.
one of the best Sundays for me, at least. I don't know about my son, but I mean, he's got your blessings in India. In India, the blessings we are really, we touch the feet of it might be against your sensibilities, but in our culture, we touch the feet of of our seniors. So I think
Yes.
he can do the virtual touching of feet of all
Ah,
of you.
yes, we've
Yes.
Yeah.
done foot washings and things before too, so we're familiar with that as well.
Oh yeah.
So
Yes.
it is an
Yes.
honor. We wash yours as well. We appreciate you and thank you so much. So yes, we will get videos out to you and we will put links on our website. And thank you both, everyone.
Thank you, and
Thank you.
hope to
Nice meeting
see you in
everyone.
India
Bye
Thank you,
soon.
bye.
everyone.
I'd
Hope
like
to
to say
see you in
one
India
thing
soon,
before you
all of
leave.
you.
Yes, I'm
Before
sorry,
you
Norm, what
leave,
would you say?
just want to say one thing. Please come back again.
Yes.
And second of all, young man, you know what I would like to see you do with your paintings? Put your poem. If you have a short poem, put that poem on the side with your paintings.
Hmm.
So that picture, you can also read it at the same time. You have a great
Yeah.
talent. Keep doing that.
Yes.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
sell
I
it
really
as
like that
art.
idea.
You can
Sell it
get,
as art.
Yes.
hmm yes, we would
Thank
love to have that.
Yeah.
you.
All
And
right.
when you finally do that, I'm looking for a painting and a poem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
you
yeah, I
have
will
to
do that.
sign your paintings too. You have to put your signature.
Oh,
Yeah, I did do that.
Yes.
good. Good suggestions. Thank you. And keep the art flowing internationally now. You are a new friend. So
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
And
Take
blessings
care.
and
Yes.
love to you both. Take
You
All
care.
right.
guys
You.
take care.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye
God
bye.
Bye-bye.
bless.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Good night.
God bless.